Hey everybody, welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Ray Goots, and back after a week off is Andrew Lee, bro. Andrew
Yo,
Lee,
what's with all these hand motions, bro?
I'm excited. I'm excited to be doing this show. I'm wearing, dude, it's Summerslam 88. I'm rocking a Ted DiBiase shirt.
Yeah.
The million,
Ted DiBiase?
like I was saying, Ted, whatever, Ted DiBiase, yeah. Dude, I was saying to him off air, this is extra large, and I try to wear the shirt of what I try to like match the shirt I wear when I record to someone's on a card. And I try to wear the shirt around. So I wore this shirt like outside last night, like 3 in the morning to walk my dog. I look like fucking shit in this shirt, bro. But it's a cool shirt, though. If you have someone who's fat, they look great in it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we're
It's a
talking about
rare, it's a rare white wrestling shirt.
yeah, with $1 Million Man. It's got like
Yeah.
all these
Why
cool
are wrestling shirts like almost always black?
yeah, but you got all these cool like also like it's like very like swaggy, you know what I mean?
So why are wrestling shirts mostly always black? Is because
Because
everyone,
black covers your fat better.
oh my God, you're probably right. They were like, the average wrestling fan is super fat, so they want to wear something that looks a little slimming. So just almost always make it a black t-shirt. Almost every wrestling shirt is a black fucking
Well,
t-shirt.
dude, that's like with metal, like because a lot of metal fans are overweight, and the reason why metal shirts are black is that it hides their fans' fat, so they look somewhat presentable. Uh,
Wow, we're doing so much body shaming on this
Now,
show. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
I'll tell you this: even now, I lost all that weight. When I wear a white T-shirt, if I have a little bit of belle welle like Diana Perrazzo, you can see it. Like you see it, and then a black shirt, you don't see it as much. It really is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But
Interesting. This was a good discussion on wrestling t-shirts,
just
man.
just randomly shitting on Diana Perrazzo would have been with it.
Yeah, randomly.
My friend,
Nick Steinered her.
my friend still quotes that to me. He thought that was so funny when he first heard it, and he looked her up and he started laughing. I watched Impact back then. Before we get into SummerSlam '88, I just want to talk about something that annoyed me today. CM Punk still isn't back,
We're
and
talking about AEW, guys. Our
AEW.
favorite promotion.
CM Punk's still not back after the All Out Media Scrum controversy, and there's still debate about it, which I guess
What's
is
the debate? What's the debate
that he
currently?
shouldn't be brought back because he's toxic to the locker room. He's a dick. He was mean to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. They got into a fight. It is whatever. But here's the thing: there, I don't want to hear any more argument about whether or not CM Punk should be back, because last night on AEW Dynamite Live on TBS, they brought back Jeff Hardy. They brought back Jeff Hardy after last year's DUI arrest, after serving jail time, after I don't even know how many times. What number is this? Like, are the fuck ups now in the double digits with this fucking guy?
That's a good question. Let me find out how many DWIs he's had.
How many times
Why
he
you
got
keep talking?
arrested? Do you remember right after he left WWE in 2009, he got arrested? He shows up to Victory Road 2011, no condition to perform. Sting and Eric Bischoff have to fucking basically make up shit on the spot. He he walks off. He gets arrested 2 times in WWE during the last run. They still keep pushing him. Then he just vanishes in the middle of a tag match in late 2021. And then a year ago, he got arrested for a DUI, but he's back. He's back, and all the wrestling fucking journalists seem okay with it, but they're still all up in arms about CM Punk. Dave Meltzer's on there acting like CM Punk murdered like 5 people or some shit. I,
So
I
I just looked this up real quick. Jeff Hardy. Actually, I was wrong. I thought. Remember when we talked about this on the phone? I thought he had like fucking like nine DWIs. He's actually had 3 DUIs, driving under the
he
influence.
also got arrested for drug possession.
And yeah, which put in the last 10 years. And that's like they say it's a third degree felony.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to pay about under 5,000, which is pretty much nothing for him, I would think, and served 2 years probation. So he didn't actually go.
Oh, I thought he went to jail for 30 days. Maybe he paid something to get off of that.
He faced jail time, but he didn't get it.
Okay.
Probably because he's a celebrity.
Yeah, and he's a pretty boy, dude. But like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna whisper in your wind. Come
He
on.
was arrested, but doesn't he? And he could have gotten jail time, but he avoided it. He got
But
probation.
overall, this is like his 9th fuck up, is what I'm saying. Like, this is like, even though he wasn't arrested during victory, what?
He's fucked up a lot.
Even though he wasn't arrested at the end of his 2003 run in WWE, even though he wasn't arrested in TNA, he still was constantly. I mean, he basically let drugs fuck him up in his first WWE run. Then he goes to TNA during the weekly pay-per-view things. He no shows because he was on drugs then. Then he goes back to WWE, and at the end of it, when he loses the loser leaves town match with CM Punk, he gets arrested for drug possession. Then we cut to Victory Road 2011, and he shows up to the ring fucking wasted as the face of the company. He was a heel back then, wrestling for Hogan's immortal brother, but basically derails that whole fucking storyline. Then he gets arrested twice in WWE, this new term, and then finally he fucking just vanishes in the middle of a tag match. Gets fired when he won't go to rehab, goes on Matt Hardy's podcast, claims that he's sober, WWE's a bunch of evil assholes, and Tony Khan is his best friend. Then he gets arrested for another DUI a year ago. And now he's back in AEW again, so he can fuck everything up. Another fucking chance.
Why don't you have a heart and just give him another chance, Ray?
No, because we've seen this happen with guys like Scott Hall. We've seen this happen with musicians. This is not just a wrestling thing. When people are that fucked up, they don't need the spotlight. You're enabling him. You basically enabled him for his next fuck up. And if this guy keeps driving under the influence, someone could die in his next fuck up, bro. This is not just about like his bullshit. He puts other people at danger, you know?
There is actually police body cam video of Jeff Hardy getting arrested. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't see it though.
Okay, I'm watching it now.
Is he doing this? Dun, 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 when they arrest him?
They set him down. Oh man, they're getting super aggressive. I have the volume off, obviously. But they are. Let me put the closed captioning on.
Maybe they're WWE fans.
But they're super aggressive towards him, which is telling me that he is probably not cooperating properly. For them to be like, for police officers to be grabbing you and fucking like really just like, you've gotta be questioning them, or just like, if you were a police officer and you like yes sir, no sir them and just do everything they tell you, they won't fucking like manhandle you, right? But for them to manhandle you, it means you're either not listening or even just questioning why you have to do it. Because police officers are fucking weird. If you go like why, they fucking get mad. If they go like, I want you to pull your dick out, and if you go why, they'll fucking just start beating you the shit out of you. You gotta just do what they say.
I fucking told you I want to see that cock. But here's the deal.
Oh right? yeah. He's stumbling. He just he had to sit down and he got up.
Imagine
he's fucked up in the video.
Or some shit in that state, bro.
Dude, this is like broad. This is not at night, by the way. This is like during the day. There's plenty of cars going, and he gets up from the ground and he almost like, the police officer's like, hey, I want you to sit on the hood of my car, because he's sitting on the floor. He's like, have a seat over there. And when he gets up, he like stumbles forward and the cop like grabs him and he's like, no, back over here. And he's smiling like, oh yeah, he's fucked up. This is, dude, during the day.
During the day.
We're gonna get to the cone thing. Oh, this is amazing. This is a great video.
Okay, I gotta watch it. But yeah, no, during the day. But
I give it 5 stars.
He's back. There's not a lot of debate online. People like addicts deserve a second chance. This is his 9th chance. This fucking guy, I don't think this guy has any intentions of ever getting better. I think this is the MO of a lot of addicts I know. They go like, oh no, I'm trying to be better. And then they just keep fucking up. And they like, because I knew, dude, we had a bunch of drunks at Caroline's that would do this. They would fuck up. They would do nothing. They come in the next day and be all charming, like, oh, I guess I'm just an idiot. I'll be better. I'm a nice guy, though. And then 2 weeks later, they'd be passed out in the fucking back of the fucking kitchen, bro. We all have to just work around this idiot who can't get a hold of himself. And I'm just tired of enabling those people, because those people rely on they rely on you feeling bad for them so they can keep fucking up. Oops. And that's what Jeff Hardy, but I'm Jeff Hardy, I can't. Give me another shot. Okay, Jeff Hardy, I loved you in 1998. Here's your 90th shot. My whole point is that if you're going to give a man who endangered families, if you're going to give this guy another shot, there's no debate, there's no argument against CM Punk. CM Punk should be on TV tomorrow night. They should start Rampage in CM Punk's apartment. There's no fucking debate on this. CM Punk had beef with people in the back. Wrestlers had beef with one another since this fucking thing started. It got out of hand. It should have been squashed that night. It wasn't, because nobody there knows how to be a fucking leader. It shouldn't be going this long. I don't want to hear from these bitch-ass wrestling journalists about CM Punk anymore. He makes the show better. He makes the company more fucking money. I want him back on fucking TV. There's no more argument about this.
I don't really need to see him on TV anymore.
I do.
He's like Jeff Hardy. Neither of them need to be on fucking TV anymore. But more. I want to see more Yoshitatsu on my TV, and I want more Tozawa. I'm sick of these white wrestlers being on TV. By the way, if you are a Jeff Hardy fan and you're super like give them their chance kind of guy, you should actually watch this video of him getting arrested. Him clearly fucked up during the middle of the day, driving on a road that's got lots of activity. And I think it would put Jeff Hardy in a different perspective for you.
This is what annoys me about the Jeff Hardy situation. If, like, God forbid, a year from now he winds up killing himself or something, everyone's gonna act like they aren't guilty. They aren't part of. They're all gonna act like I guess nothing could be done. That's so sad. I wish we had helped him. They're gonna act like they could. Everyone in AEW can, including his fucking brother, could be doing steps to make sure this guy's okay, and they're not, because they just want to get every last dollar out of his fucking carcass.
Oh wow, they're making him do that whole thing.
Yeah.
They're like you can see that they're doing the whole. We want you to put your arms down. They're making him do the whole thing to test how fucked up he is. Wow. Yeah, he can't even stand. So one of the things he has to do is he has to stand and put his arms out. And every time he puts his arms out, he loses his balance.
Yeah.
Jeez. And he's not standing on one foot. He's got both feet on the ground. And all he has to do is like just put his arms out, but he keeps losing his. This is the middle of the day. He's driving on like a freeway.
Busy freeway.
It's got lots of activity. He could have gone. Here's the thing I think this is not just a wrestling thing. It's a pop culture thing.
Yeah.
Because when Will Smith physically assaulted somebody, there were so many apologetics out there because they're fans of Will Smith. Mm-hmm. And because if you're fans of somebody, you're willing to excuse like their illegal behavior, right?
Yeah.
Like people loved Donald Trump's Apprentice show, right? They're fans of his fucking stupid show. So they're fans of him. So when he was doing all these fucking things that are terrible, you make excuses for it. And when Will Smith slaps somebody, physically assaults someone, you like his movies and you like his shitty fucking music, so you have to make excuses for him. Jeff Hardy is no different.
Yeah.
There's people who like Jeff Hardy as an entertainer, and they will make excuses for him. The same, people made excuses for Bill Cosby. You know that? You've heard people go like, well, he didn't really rape. I'm like, geez, bro. Yeah. He's admitted it. Bill Cosby admitted it. The only reason why he didn't get arrested was because the women that he did this to, they had signed a fucking deal that they were not allowed to talk about it. But because they broke that, their testimonies didn't count in court. That's how he got out. But he's admitted that he's done this himself. But there's still people who will excuse it because they fucking love Fat Albert. You know? I mean, like, that's just how simple people are. People are simple.
But I'm like, but I hope, like, if you're a Jeff Hardy fan, you're excusing this. When something bad goes wrong, you feel guilty, or you feel like, wow, I'm part of the problem, because you are part of the problem.
Yeah, but they're not gonna feel guilty. They're not. They're not gonna feel guilty.
They should.
They should, but they're not. If they already,
they're gonna be so mystified
when they're not gonna feel.
But my whole whole point with CM Punk is he is the number one merch mover. He increases ratings. He sells more tickets. So he had a problem with guys that look, is Kenny Omega a great wrestler? Yeah. They don't really move the needle in terms of anything. So my thing is this is like, figure it out. But this is what I would say is Tony Khan. You guys better figure it out, but one way or another, CM Punk's back on TV as soon as doctors clear him. So you guys better figure out a way to live with it. Because if you don't, then you don't have to be here. That's just the end. That's just the way it is. Sorry.
So you guys got to watch this video. So you know, in a parking lot, they have those parking lot lines. They're making him walk the line. Jeff Hardy, brother.
Dude, let me just say, if you're
he no-sold that line, bro. He's just going all over the fucking place. You guys got to watch it. But anyway,
if you fucking, dude, people are talking more about CM Punk than Jeff Hardy, which is weird to me. Like, there's still like this, but what I'm saying is, if you're okay with Jeff Hardy, but you're still going on about CM Punk, your priorities in life are completely fucking.
These are just Twitter people. They're not real.
No. This is Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer's not a real person.
I know he's not. He's a fucking.
He's not. He's
he's. You know why he's nervous? Because CM Punk's the type of guy who will just call him out on it again and be like, bro, you started all this with your bullshit. And he doesn't want to face that, you know?
I loved how Dave Meltzer, he's like the premier wrestling journalist, and he's at the all-out press conference, and that CM Punk has a whole meltdown, and he asks like a question about MJF or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking going like,
they stay in character.
You fucking fool. Oh my god. He's the kind of guy like they'll just like somebody will just like put money on the table and he'll just be like, what kind of table is this? Like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. It's like, dude, it's a layup. You were given like a layup and you just fucking like,
he doesn't know how to.
Yeah, man, you just like, and that's the premier wrestling. This is why, if he's the best wrestling journalist, that shows you what wrestling journalism is all about. If he's the
doesn't
best,
exist. It's not a real thing. We're wrestling journalists.
The best American wrestler right now is like Reginald from WWF. It's like saying Dave Meltzer is the best wrestling journalist.
Okay, I thought you were saying that you think Reginald's the best.
No, but I'm saying if Dave Meltzer is the best wrestling journalist, what does that say about wrestling journalism in general, right?
Yeah.
So if you're like looking at Impact Wrestling, and let's just say Kimberly, you were like, Kimberly's the best female wrestler.
She doesn't work there.
What the fuck is that saying about that division, right?
Well, Kimberly is just the best of all time. So
yeah, she's the best. She's my very favorite.
She's just the best.
She's the best heel in the business, in my opinion.
Dude, I'll never forget when I said, "Oh, let's review Impact." She was the first person to walk out, and I hadn't watched Impact in years. And I'm like,
"Oh my god,
what is?"
You were doing some Kimberly hand gestures in the beginning of this recording.
Remember, she would walk out like this.
Yeah, she would do these.
Wear a tutu.
Yeah. Oh my god.
How did no one? Anyway, that's a whole. Let's go back in time when people looked like people. 1988, SummerSlam '88, the very first SummerSlam took place in Madison Square Garden. The Megapowers versus the Megabucks. Andrew Lee, overall, what did you think of this show?
It was good. It wasn't no WrestleMania 39 night one, but it was good.
It was good. You know what I realized rewatching this show, and I didn't realize it ever before? The undercard was about having the older guys put over the new guys. Like, it was all about like, here's this new character, and we're gonna let this other character put him over. Like, did you notice? Like,
yeah, a lot of the matches are like that. Absolutely.
Except for Jake the Snake's match, but every match seemed like a guy that he just brought in beating up an older guy.
This was the passing of the torch pay-per-view in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this was like what? So it was 1988. It's almost around 35 years ago. 35 years ago, yeah. What do you call it? SummerSlam. It takes place in Madison Square Garden. This is the first SummerSlam, by the way. Madison Square Garden, August 29th, 1988. And we get this really cool, well, I mean, for the time, video package introducing SummerSlam, and it's basically a video package of like all the key players in the main event, right? And it's got that classic WWF theme. I love that fucking theme. They use it for like everything, don't they? For a while, like
Yeah,
one time
yeah.
ago.
They used to have good music in WWE. Now they don't.
That's like it sounds like the King of the Ring fucking theme or whatever it was. But
Well, no,
you guys know what I'm talking
it's
about.
the SummerSlam theme, but yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Anyways, we got Gorilla Monsoon and superstar Billy Graham on commentary because Jesse Ventura is going to be in the main event. And does Superstar have like a Jesus Christ T-shirt?
I couldn't tell what that was.
I thought it was a picture of Jesus Christ in tie dye.
It might have been.
I liked it. It looked pretty good, but
might be.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go right into our first match. Anything you want to say about the intro or commentary before we get into our first match?
I didn't think I didn't really like Superstar Billy Graham as a commentator that much, and also like he aged a lot since his 2 Starrcade matches.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say Superstar was the worst though. He was not the worst commentary I ever heard.
No,
but he was.
But compared to like Jesse Ventura being with Gorilla, it wasn't that great.
Oh man, I mean, yeah. You know what it is? If they did not have Bobby Heenan and Jesse Ventura and Macho Man and Roddy Piper and Mr. Perfect and a whole bunch of other people, then yes, Billy Graham gets the job. But he is not better than any of those.
If you like put Billy Graham, like if Billy Graham that version became like the color commentator on Impact, it would be a step up for that show.
Oh yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
But like not in 80s WWE. He doesn't cut the mustard in 80s WWF.
No, yeah. Because you know what it is? Billy Graham is still in that weird point where he's still trying to get himself over. You know?
Yeah, well, I think his career was it was forced to be over. I don't think he wanted it to be over. I think he wanted
it doesn't matter, dude. Nobody wants their career to be over. It just happens, right? You have to be a man and you have to accept it. And when you're given a job, like, hey, you can no longer be a wrestler, but you've been given this golden opportunity to stay in the business in this new role, then you should put your heart into that new role instead of trying to live your old glory days. Hint, hint. Scott D'Amore, you fucking loser.
I hate that.
Anyways, we go into our first match. Fabulous Rougeau brothers, who are now a heel tag. They mentioned how they're from Canada, but they're gonna try to get their citizenship to be American.
Yeah, that's their gimmick now that they're like fake Americans.
Yeah, and they're racing the British Bulldogs, and this is a very long match. This is like the longest opening match I've seen. It's like they go straight to a 20-minute time limit draw.
Yeah,
I was like, this was a waste of my fucking time. This was a waste of my fucking time.
You didn't like the match? You didn't like the work?
The work was okay, but I don't like if you're gonna go to for me, this is me personally. If a match is gonna go to a time limit draw, it has to be really fucking good where I don't feel cheated.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Or double DQ. Yeah. Anything that's a draw, it better be worth it to me where it's gotta be like, you know what? That was a fucking good match. I don't care how it ended. Case point would be like Kenny Omega versus Okada. You know, their second match went to a time limit draw, but it made sense storyline wise, and the match itself was good to the point where I was like satisfied that there was no actual finish. Mm-hmm. Not like this, not this bullshit. You know,
in the real world, these 2 teams were not getting along. They don't like each other.
This match happening. At this point, this is before they fucking where he fucking.
Yeah, it's before. Yeah.
This match is before the Mountie gets like a roll of quarters and fucking punches him in the face. Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
But they're already not getting along at this point.
Yeah, they were already starting to not get along. Yeah. And in the Survivors, so if Dynamite, well, we'll talk about that next show. But basically, the Rougeaus chased them out of the WWF, and they chased Dynamite Kid out of WWF forever. So
I thought it was his fucking back. that chased him out.
Well, he didn't have the back problems the way it was. They basically the Rougeos punked him out, and Vince McMahon said, "You can never if you get like the revenge I think you want to get, I'll fucking sue you or whatever." Like, and then he was basically like, "Well, then we're leaving." Dynamite Kid like was like, "We're leaving," because he couldn't. He wanted to basically like do something bad to the Rougeos, and he couldn't. But he never wound up doing it. He could have done it after he left. He was a pussy. Basically, the Rougeos reveal that this guy's a pussy. He was just a bully with no fucking backbone when you stand up to him, and he ran away like most bullies do, and he died. So,
yeah, I don't feel
bad,
but I do know his. I think his nephews are wrestling right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they might even be on. They might even be on MLW.
Oh.
Well, what did you think of
That's
this
where
match?
career's going to die anyway. MLW.
What did you think of this match, dude? You personally?
It was all right. I mean, I don't like the time limit draw, but it wasn't like oh, this is so fucking bad. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't Carlos Colon versus Abdullah Butcher or the Bunkhouse Stampede.
Yeah.
It was Bunkhouse Stampede or Bunkhouse Brawl? What the fuck was that called?
The Bunkhouse Brawl. Yeah. It was fine. It's just like there's no finish, and then it just you're right. It feels like because this is only 2.5 hours. This pay-per-view. It's not 3.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they're like, oh fuck, we only have enough for 2 hours of show. You guys just kill the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. This was like it was just kind of like a waste of my time. I felt.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but I kind of feel like the reason why I went to a draw is because they couldn't get either team to agree to put one another over.
Probably, but fuck that shit.
I know.
Don't have that's you have plenty other tag teams, in this fucking company.
Well, that's why the British Bulldogs are out of here after Survivor Series '88. So
yeah. We get after this match, we get a recap of why Brutus Beefcake is not on this program. Ron Bass fucking cut him up with one of his cowboy spurs. They throw a giant censored.
Dude, didn't that make the angle look big time with that fucking? It made it look. When I was a kid, it made it look scarier because you're like, what is he doing to Brutus Beefcake?
What, the Red X?
Yeah.
I like. If you guys are like younger fans, you probably recall like when there will be like extreme violence and a lot of blood. They'll just gray the screen or blur it, right? But back then they just put like a gigantic red X. So sometimes you could still see the blood if depending on like where their head's sticking out. What do you like better, the red X, the blur, or the grayness?
I like the red X. I'll tell you why. Because I remembered this as a kid, and it made Outlaw Ron Bass look like a serial killer. Because half the time you can't see what he's doing. He's like, what is he doing? Is he like stabbing Brutus Beefcake? Like, what is he doing? And apparently it was like very tame. Like if you see the uncensored footage, he's not really doing that much. But the fact that you can't see it is, I think, put over the angle, put over Outlaw Ron Bass, put him over more than anything they did with him in the fucking Starcades.
I do like the red X the best. I would love it if they brought it back. I think it looks pretty cool.
Did you see who ran out to save him? By the way, did you see who was out there?
No, who was it?
It was the Rockers. First time we see Shawn Michaels one of these shows.
Oh, interesting.
He ran out to save his best friend Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, we got match number 2, and then afterwards, Shawn Michaels talk shit about Beefcake because that's what.
Let me tell you something, Beefcake. You don't go to
the yeah. He talked shit about everybody afterwards, and then acted like he was their friend. Mm-hmm. Match number 2. This is the first match of an older generation star putting over the new star. It is Bad News Brown versus Ken Patera. And Bad News Brown wins the match by hitting his Ghetto Blaster, which is probably the worst looking Enziguri I've ever seen.
Yeah, but it was impressive back then because nobody was doing it.
Dude, it looks so terrible.
It looks terrible now because we've seen Owen. Even Hulk Hogan is a better Enziguri. I'll give you.
Yeah, this is like. I was like, this is definitely the ghetto version of the Enziguri. This is the fucking shittiest Enziguri I've ever fucking seen. It's like the lowest quality Enziguri. The guy fucking like misses his head, and he like almost lands on his own fucking head. What a fucking.
I think that's more to do with Ken Patera than Bad News Brown. Ken Patera sucks, bro. I was watching this guy fucking sucks.
I actually think Bad News Brown is not that good.
No, he's pretty good, bro.
I don't know. He's like never in shape. He's not even that much in shape. He's got like almost like he barely has arm muscles. He hit
But that worked for him. You know, he was like a legit judo champion. Like he's like one of the few guys that is legit on the show, like Haku.
Fuck that. Fuck judo. Ain't nobody got time for that karate shit.
No, he could actually fuck you up. But like if he got into a real fight with somebody in the back, he could actually fuck you up. I
yeah,
like.
But I bet you I could hit a better enziguri than him.
But, well,
I bet you I could.
Oh well, then try it next week. Practice your enziguri. Look, is it a bad enziguri? Yes, but nobody on WWF was doing enziguris back then, so it looks impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like just like nobody was doing the Tombstone Pile Driver until Undertaker showed up. So it was like, oh my god, that looks cool. You know, you don't know that like there's other wrestlers who can do it better because we don't see them. You know
yeah. I'm saying, but you know what? Like we never saw the DDT until Jake Roberts did it, but he didn't fucking do it like a goddamn moron.
No, he did it. He did it.
Yeah,
right.
that's my
now
point.
That, like, but like, if someone else was the only guy doing DDT on WWF, he would have been like, "Oh my god, it looks so cool."
What I do like is that there's a name for this finisher because back then a lot of finishers didn't have names. You know, like everybody's just doing the figure four. Everybody's just the Hogan's leg drop is just the leg drop or whatever. Yeah. So I like that his was called Ghetto Blaster. Like Gorilla Monsoon actually calls it out, which is pretty.
You know what here's my thing about Bad News Brown. He's Eddie Kingston done right. I can't take Eddie Kingston seriously. To me, Eddie Kingston.
I mean, Bad News Brown does kind of have an Eddie Kingston like body in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's what people think Eddie Kingston is. Like he just seems like, you know what, Bad News Brown. He's like a guy because they say he was from. I just picture being a guy who beats his wife and he lives in like a 2-bedroom apartment in Harlem, and then he just takes the train to like Madison Square Garden, puts on like these tights he got at like fucking Modell's, and then just beats his opponent up, and then goes home, yells at his wife some more. That's what he kind of comes across, and I kind of like that about Bad News. He seems very real in an era where everyone was a kind of a cartoon character, but it doesn't come across as faked or forced. Eddie Kingston comes across very like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you out, violence, like he's trying to overcompensate the fact he's a fucking loser.
You know what, man? I think you and I might be the only ones who, maybe not the only ones, but we really, I don't like hate Eddie Kingston.
I don't hate him either, but it just seems
I don't fucking like him. Yeah, I'm like at the same time, I'm just like, every time, even when he cuts promos, I can't stand it. You know, like, I can't stand the way he looks. Like, and his fake fucking passion for wrestling is just like, and it is fake. All right, I'll tell you why it's fake. Because if you really I fucking love wrestling. I'll do anything for wrestling.
You don't want to do
go to the gym. You're not disciplined, you fuck. If you really love it, you fucking be disciplined about it. Fuck.
I would do anything for this company. A push up, no.
Dude, I love comedy, and I was mad disciplined about it. I fucking took notes. I fucking went to multiple open mics. I fucking have 4 different like files of fucking jokes, different each file is different, and I would take creative criticism as well. If somebody's critiquing my act and they're a fucking headliner comic or a veteran comic, I didn't fucking just poo-poo it. I say you fucking listen to it. It's difficult as it is to hear someone criticize your fucking act. I fucking listen. You know why? Because I'm dedicated to the craft. Unlike you, Eddie Kingston. No offense. Going to the gym is part of your fucking job as a professional wrestler. Maybe you don't love it as much as you think. That's what I think about Eddie Kingston. That's the only reason why I can't stand
it. He loves the spotlight. He doesn't actually love it.
Yeah, he likes the spotlight. When he likes cutting up his fucking eyebrow. Oh, look at me, I have a slit through my eyebrow.
Yeah, it's like, and then like
comes off so phony to me. Yeah.
So listen to this. The AEW ratings are down again. So
wait, what was it? This is
it's 866,000 this week.
No, you know what? It's not down. That's just what they do. Like that's just their average at this point. You know,
telling you, CM Punk. Anyway.
If you say down, I'm thinking like 700, but like 800.
It's gonna go there. I'm gonna predict this by the fall. If they don't bring CM Punk back, it's gonna go to 7,000. If they don't change something, it's gonna go to 700,000. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing, though. I don't even think it matters. Tony Khan, he ain't gonna matter.
I know it's not gonna matter, but eventually, we have another impact. That's what we have. We don't have a true alternative. So yeah, Bad News Brown. Yeah, I think I felt like Bad News Brown, even though he had the gut, and I know he doesn't have like the biggest arms. I feel like okay, here's the thing. I don't think you have to you don't have to be like in Arnold Schwarzenegger's shape to fuck somebody up. And I feel like Bad News Brown could fuck you up, and Eddie Kingston cannot. I feel like Eddie Kingston would talk a lot of shit and be like, "Hold me back, hold me back." But if you got like one good shot in him, he would fucking fall on the ground, be like, "Oh God, wait a minute, oh bro, wasn't ready." Like, but Bad News Brown, I feel like Bad News Brown would kill me, would just kill
Yeah.
me, you know. And then like say to Vince McMahon, and not even like kill me in the dressing room, and then be like, "I'm not apologizing to you, Vince. You can fire me." You know what I mean? And Vince probably like,
Possibly. I hate to say this though. Eddie Kingston will probably hit a better Enziguri than Bad News Brown.
probably. I mean,
Yeah.
Bad News Brown was getting a title. Bad News Brown, like at the end of '88, is getting title shots with Macho Man Randy Savage and is fighting Hulk Hogan too. So they
By the way, Bad News Brown, way better name than Bad News Allen. Way better.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
way
Vince
better.
is Vince. Hey pal,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know, I get it. Maybe that's his real name, Bad News Allen, but it doesn't come off as smoothly as Bad News Brown.
Bad News Brown.
It just fucking sounds badass.
Have you seen the Survivor Series '88? Ever?
Survivor Series '88. We're
Watch
gonna
it
watch
next
it
week.
soon.
You're gonna like him in Survivor Series '88. Okay, let's
Okay.
keep. That's where you're gonna start becoming a fan of this guy. So
Yeah. No, I don't hate him. I actually do like Bad News Brown. And I've actually have seen him hit the Ghetto Blaster, making it look good. But in this
I
fucking
just
match,
think him and Ken Patera had no chemistry.
oh, and yeah, in this match, it's just so awful.
I feel like also Ken Patera is so old school. He probably didn't understand what Daniel Bryan was saying. Like, you're gonna do what? Can humans do that? Like, he's so like fucking 70s.
No, but he missed his head. That's not on Ken Patera.
I blame Ken
Yeah.
Patera.
All right. I like Ken Patera too. He's all right.
Nah,
Megapowers, I actually, I like him. I like Eddie Kingston too,
fuck.
actually. he all right too.
You know what though? Eddie Kingston's a better wrestler than Ken Patera. Oh, let's keep going.
Yeah. All right. Mean Gene is interviewing the Megapowers, and he got like they were like, we got a secret weapon. There's some little foreshadowing here. It almost like something you just kind of like pass off until the very end. But Hogan says they got a secret weapon, and it's Elizabeth. They keep saying that secret weapon. We got a secret weapon. It's Elizabeth, and that's a little bit of foreshadowing. I didn't realize it until I actually watched this, but to the main event. But that's it. Anything you want to add about that little promo?
It's just great seeing them cut promos. You know, I really kind of wish watching this that they had a reunion in WWF and they reunited the Mega Powers in like 93, 94. That would have been a lot of fun. Like,
that would have been so much fun.
Because they're so much fun together. You know, it was only like a year and a half they were friends in WWF, but people remember this. This is like one of the like the most fondly. He's Hogan's best ally. I'll say that. Like he's like the Iron Man to Hulk Hogan's Captain America. Like they really like. I don't know.
They have so much great chemistry together. They're both so full of personality, and they're different personalities.
Yeah.
You
so
know,
you had them reunite like in 93, 94, and maybe even gain the tag belts, like had them beat like the fucking like when Shawn and Diesel had the belt, had them imagine Shawn and Diesel versus the Mega Powers. Oh, dude, that would have been great.
yeah.
And they never did it, and I mean, I would have loved it even in 2002 if Hogan brought out Savage and the Mega Powers reunited.
No, I think a lot of people would have loved it, but
they
fortunately,
never
that's
had
not
it.
going to happen.
And it wasn't the same in WCW. It just wasn't the same. And when we get to that, we'll talk about it.
Dude, it's the same way when you bring over an ex-WWE guy into AEW, it's not the same. You know why? It's because like it feels tainted.
Yeah, it feels like this isn't. Well, I'll tell you a good example of it, even though like nobody cares about this. Rhino and Heath Slater just doesn't feel the same. Like,
no,
they try to make it like this, like they're this great tag team, and like even though like they weren't like, it wasn't like they were top stars in WWF together, but like it just doesn't feel the same when they're together at Impact. You know,
I feel the same way about Goldberg in WWE and Sting when he was in WWE.
Yeah.
Because they were like, these are like homegrown WCW guys, and when I saw them in WWE, not saying I didn't enjoy it, but I did feel like, man, it's not the same kind of
Yeah.
mentality. You know, even though it's the same guy, I was like, it's not the same.
Yeah, but dude, yeah,
When Chronic came over, I was like, it's not the same.
the Megapowers, bro. Great. One of the best tag teams. They're like the Rock and Sock. They're like always gonna be like just a great.
Yeah,
tag.
I think that's the closest example I could think of.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and Sock connection, right? Where it's like two different personalities, but they're two top guys coming together.
You know who I think could have this type of chemistry too if they ever do this, and I would do this. In fact, my head I thought they're gonna do this a year from now. They ever have Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns be a tag team? I think they would have this type of chemistry, like these guys have in Rock and Mankind.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Where Roman Reigns genuinely likes Sami Zayn, not like this whole like I'm using you.
Yeah,
and they're both faces.
Possibly. Possibly. I don't think Roman has that magnetic personality that you kind of need to pull this off.
I think when Roman turns face, because I think he is going to wind up turning face in like 2 years or so. He's gonna be a whole new different face.
We'll see.
He's not going to be. He sucked as a face before. I think the key is Sami Zayn to this. I'm telling you.
All right, we're gonna go to match number 3. It is Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan. He's gonna be facing the Junkyard Dog. Rick Rude cuts his now classic style of promo where he shits on all the fat slobs that he goes, I'm gonna show everybody what a real man looks like. And then he takes off and he starts revealing, starts gyrating, reveals his tights. It's got JYD's face on his tights. JYD comes in and they start wrestling. Finish comes when Rick Rude goes up to the top turnbuckle, and right before he's about to like jump off it, he pulls down his tights to reveal Cheryl Roberts, Jake the Snake Roberts' wife, painted airbrushed onto his tights. He jumps down, attacks JYD. All of a sudden, Jake Roberts comes in, attacks him, causes a DQ. Rick Rude wins by DQ. JYD is fucking annoyed because he lost this match for no reason, but he just accepts it.
Well, Jake, you can see Jake explaining himself.
Yeah,
Jake gets annoyed on JYD's behalf. He's like, "Oh, I cost you that match." But I don't know. Their acting, those two, their acting was pretty good. But Jake is doing most of the acting. JYD, I think JYD is just annoyed he's there, not even that he lost the match.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, JYD, he's been with WWF at this point since '83, at least from
84.
He wasn't there for the first one.
The first WrestleMania was in 85, bro. 83.
85? Oh, yeah. That's 83 start date, dude. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's right. 85, right? Or 84. And
84, he shows up, yeah.
Yeah, so that's about 4 years now, and he was arguably the second most popular guy they had.
No.
And you're just watching him go down the fucking ranks so bad.
He looks like he doesn't want to be there the entire time. He knows it's over, and he's not even trying to convince the audience and Vince that it's not over. You know,
but here's the thing, he's still like pretty popular, you know?
He is, because he was just that good. That's the type of guy that, you know, there's some guy, like, he's the prime example of someone who, if he had applied himself, he could have been just as big as Hogan. I mean, dude, he was only like 44 when he died. So he's 34. In the match we're watching, he's 34, dude. I mean, Cody's older than him, and Cody's like right now in the prime of his career.
He died at 45, which is still
young. So he's 35. Young. He's 35 in this match.
He's very young, and by the way, he died from a car accident, so it's kind of like his life was just cut short.
Yeah, well, he fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, which is he pulled a Jeff Hardy, fortunately.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's go to.
But Jake's acting is really good. You know what annoying about this show, though? I'll tell you the one thing that annoyed me. Why didn't they just do Jake versus Rick Rude?
Yeah.
And do like Junkyard Dog versus Hercules.
At this point, we're 3 matches in. I am not really liking this pay-per-view.
Dude, like
think about what you were seeing so far. 3 matches in, a fucking time limit draw to an match You get a fucking second match where it's like the worst looking fucking Inzaguri you'll ever see, and then match number 3 is another just like, it's DQ. If I was paying customer, I would have been so fucking annoyed that 3 matches in.
Well, they're not popping for anything until Jake runs out, and it's like the pop for Jake is so huge. I'm like, why didn't you just do Jake versus Rick Rude?
Yeah, I don't know.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, especially since they're trying to make SummerSlam a big thing, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple big moments to come that kind of solidified as a big thing.
Yep. Sorry. All right. Then we get Mean Gene. He is with Jimmy Hart and the Honky Tonk Man, who cut a promo on Beefcake, who was supposed to be his opponent for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam, but because Beefcake was taken up by Ron Bass, Honky is opening an open challenge. He's issuing an open challenge. He goes, "I'll take it. I'll fight anybody." Let me tell you something about Honky Tonk Man.
He's so good in this.
Did not think he was good for almost my entire adult life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe it was because of everything I read on the internet. He's fucking good.
Dude, he's so good. He's so setting up what's going to happen. He is doing all the work to get over. It's just how arrogant he is, and it's almost like he's just so fucking stupid too. Like, I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be anybody.
This is like, he's like one of the best. Like, this is like, if somebody was like telling me like, I'm gonna be a wrestler, but I'm gonna be a bad guy wrestler, what should I be like? But I know I'm never gonna be like fucking Roman Reigns. I'll be like, you gotta watch Honky. Yeah. He is like, he's always gonna have a fucking job.
He's like, dude, MJF should study hard.
Yeah. Dude, this is like the second promo that he's given that I've enjoyed. The first one I like is when he cut it at WrestleMania against Jake Roberts and fucking Alex Cooper, and he's just like, Alex Cooper, nobody cares about your nightmare music.
Dude, you know what the thing about Honky Tonk Man is? And this is, no one will do this anymore. So he's talking a big game, but he's putting himself up to look like a fucking idiot. MJF and a lot of these heels do not allow themselves to look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And you know who was good at making himself look like a fucking idiot was Vince. Vince was kind of like this type of heel where Vince talks up a big game and then Austin makes him look like a fucking jerk off, right? And that's the part about why a great heel is a great heel. It's not about the heel whooping ass or telling the face like you're.
If you watch most of Honky's match, he's just bumping the whole time.
Yeah, he's so fucking.
What was that match, those Survivor Series, where he was just like, I'm like, this guy is just bumping for everybody. He just bump. He hits like, he only had his finisher. Everything else he was doing was like cheating moves. But that's what he is. There's nothing redeemable about him. You know what? You know who it kind of reminds me of him right now? Dominic Mysterio.
Yes, that's why
Dominic Mysterio is so fucking good right now because he talks a lot of shit, but you know this guy ain't gonna do shit. Yeah. By the way, he's gotten so much better in the ring too. And if you watch him to when he was before, when he was tag teaming with his dad, he stopped trying to do all these fancy moves. He doesn't do any of that shit anymore. Now he hits you a couple of times, he gets up on the fucking turnbuckle and he's just like, look at my fucking muscles. And you laugh at this fucking schmuck. He's like Honky Tonk Man. That's why he is the best heel.
He's a better heel than MJF right now.
Oh, absolutely.
He is 1,000% better than MJF.
By miles.
MJF should be studying Dominic Mysterio and
Yeah, I actually owe Dominic Mysterio an apology because I was like, this was a mistake bringing this guy up to the main roster so quick without having him get any fucking like experience on the undercard or in the Indies or NXT. I was wrong. He has proven me that he's got way more talent than I gave him credit for.
I thought he had the best match at Night 1 of WrestleMania. I know people love that Usos match. I think him and Ray's match is better.
Still haven't seen that match yet because I ran out of time yesterday, but that match, Dominic versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 39 Night 1, from the fucking video package they show you all the way to the fucking finish is fantastic. I fucking love it. It's really good. That might be, it's like a really good fucking match. Dominic's great in that.
I think that was Rey Mysterio's best WrestleMania match too. And think about it, that's 20 years of WrestleMania matches. And that's his best one.
I actually want him to like. I want Dominic to be the one to retire Rey Mysterio.
I know, but Rey Mysterio is so good right now, which is insane. He's better now than he was like 10, 15 years ago. That I could see him wrestling another 4 or 5 years.
Ray is wearing like a padded helmet or
Mhm.
something, right? His mask has padding in it now,
Mhm.
and I think even though he's good, you can see he's got a lot of physical problems,
Yeah,
and
but
I think
I think he's better now, Rey Mysterio. I think this is like the best he's been in years, years and years and years. And it's crazy that this guy is this. He's what Jericho thinks he is, bro. He's what Jericho thinks he is.
Rey Mysterio is really good now. I don't think this is the best he's ever been.
No, it's not the best, but it's the best he's been in years. What I'm saying.
He's the best he's been in years, yeah. But I would like to see him retire soon, just because I don't want to fucking find out. Oh, did you know Rey Mysterio's in a wheelchair now? I'd be like, nah, I don't want to know that, you know.
We'll see.
But
Yeah, we'll see.
I want Dominic and Ray to always be having some kind of feud, no matter what. Kind of like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You know how they're always just kind of connected.
Yeah.
I want that, and I want Dominic to retire Ray. I just want it to be. I love that. I just love it. That's my favorite storyline. So good.
Great. It's one of the best.
I'm so glad it's not over. I'm so glad it's
Oh,
not
we got
over.
it. We're bringing in Bad Bunny now.
Bringing in Bad Bunny. You know what I think is gonna happen? I think it's gonna be like. Let me ask you a question. So Backlash happening next month is happening in Puerto Rico. That's why Bad Bunny's in there, and they're most likely gonna do Bad Bunny. I'm thinking it's gonna be Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio versus
Yes.
Dominic and Damian Priest, right? But there's a Finn Balor's in there. Do you think for this Puerto Rico show they're gonna bring in Carlito or the Colones?
No.
Oh, why not?
I think they're over the clones.
Even Carlito? Oh, that's too bad.
I don't think you need the clones. I think you just need Ray and Bad Bunny. Well, dude, Bad Bunny means so much more to the Puerto Rican people than the fucking clones, bro.
You know what I was thinking they could do? They could do the three men from the Judgment Day versus Bad Bunny.
No, I don't
Rey
think Finn's gonna be in the match.
Well, it's not Carlito. Santos Escobar.
Yeah, but I think it's just gonna be a straight up tag match.
Oh, okay. I think they should do a 3-on-3. This way you can kind of hide Bunny a little bit better.
I don't think they want to hide Bunny. I think they want to have Bunny all over the place. But
probably
they want to have Bunny jumping around. I think they want to have Bunny like beating up Dominic. I don't think they want they don't want Santos Escobar to take any spotlight away from the Bunny. So.
You know what they should do for Backlash in Puerto Rico is bring in Honky Tonk Man so he cut a promo on fucking Puerto Rico.
Dude, have Bad Bunny fuck them up.
It'll be so good. It'll be so good. All right, match number 4, the Bolsheviks with the manager Slick. They're in the ring, and Nikolai Volkov starts singing the fucking anthem. He's been singing this fucking anthem since the beginning of
he does it until he dies.
And let me tell you something. It's so fucking over. They're like, this one thing has kept this guy in the company for so fucking long. Like, he's never going away because I was like, this song gets so much heat. It's just like you can't fire this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And
they never do.
Yeah. And anyway, the Bolsheviks versus the Powers of Pain, which is the Warlord and the fucking Barbarian. They come in with a fucking guy in a hood, and I was like,
Baron von Raschke.
I was like, is that Warhorse? I thought it was Warhorse.
Yeah, Warhorse went back in time.
It's Baron von Raschke from the AWA. But they put him over. They put him in a hood because he's so old looking, and I was like, they got him. That's why they put him in a hood. He's like so fucking old looking. They fight right away, and let me tell you something. If you like big fucking dudes, if you like tag team of 2 big fucking dudes in black tights with no spikes at all, like AOP or like Indu Shear or something, you're gonna like the Powers of Pain. They're basically like the two. They're like like the big dudes without the spikes. There's always there's a big dude tag teams with spikes and big dude tag teams with no spike. This is the best I think of the no spike guys. Anyways, they hit the power slam, flying headbutt, what do you call it? Combo on Zukov for the win. And at the end of the match, Gorilla Monsoon says he can't wait for these guys to beat Demolition for the tag titles. A little bit of foreshadowing, I guess, for the future. I fucking thought Powers of Pain looked great. This fucking
really, I remember this being more of a squash, and it wasn't.
I mean, it is a squash. I didn't say it was a good match. I said I think the Powers of Pain looked great in this match.
No, I mean, it wasn't as much of a squash as I remember. The Bolsheviks got more offense than I remember. I also could have swore that they got a huge pop when I used to watch the show as a kid, and on this version, like the crowd didn't seem to give a shit about them.
I guess I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I saw a different match between these guys but yeah, I thought they looked good. I didn't think it was that good of a match. The Powers of Pain though, I think if Vince got behind them more, they could have been something because they look fucking great. I mean, they just look great, and they just don't.
I think Vince just wanted to split them up because I think he saw them and was just like, I think
I
I'd
would have
rather
kept
have.
them together. It's the same thing. Same thing with Enzo and Cass. Their careers were never the same.
Yeah, like I think he saw, instead of seeing a tag team, he saw like two successful singles guys, but he should have kept them as a tag team, 100%. They were just like two. They look like the fucking million bucks. They're
Yeah.
humongous. They're they're quick. They're pretty quick.
You know why they're in WWF now? They quit NWA because they were booked in scaffold matches, and they're like, we're not doing that, and they quit. They're like, fuck this.
So stupid.
Smartest decision I've ever heard of.
I don't know. You're telling me they didn't want to be a Skywalker?
No, they
They
were like
had no passion for
on
this
house
thing.
shows. They were gonna they were gonna make them do this on house shows, and they were like, no.
They have no passion for this business.
Oh,
See, this is
nowadays-
why now I'm glad they lost that bunkhouse brawl because they don't deserve the right to win that fucking gigantic fucking cowboy boots.
They're like, you're gonna jump or you're gonna fucking fall off this. Like, no, it's okay. We'll just go work for Vince McMahon.
Yeah, smartest decision ever. Yeah, absolutely. We get a brother. You know what? So we're gonna get a interview segment.
Oh, I
in the
gotta
middle
talk
of
to you about
pay-per-view.
this. This
Yeah.
this isn't how it's supposed to go.
Okay, so it is a brother love. I'm gonna I'll explain what it is. What's happening? Brother love segment with Bruce Pritchard playing brother love. He calls in Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who's got like a really cool shirt on. I actually like.
Yeah,
this
I
shirt.
want. I vote. You know what? I forgot it. I want that shirt now.
Yeah, it looks like a baseball shirt. You guys know what I'm talking about? A baseball shirt it's white, but it's got like the color on the shoulders areas, and it's got like Hacksaw on it. It looks really fucking dope. I love it. People love Hacksaw, who kind of reminds me of Eugene. Like Brother Love's talking and he's got like 88. He got like ADD or something because like Hacksaw the whole time he's just like making faces, sticking out his tongue, and he's like constantly distracted. He's like he's just like not even paying attention to what Brother Love's saying until like he's playing with his 2x4 and everything until Brother Love questions his love for America, and all of a sudden now you've got his attention, right? This is kind of like Eugene. Eugene just dumb and just like all over the place until you like, I don't know, shit on fucking like professional wrestling. Then he got all mad, right? And then he starts going like, I'm gonna give you the count of 5 to get the fuck out of here. And he goes to 4, and then fucking he chases Brother Love out. People love this segment. What did you think about this segment? What was this supposed to be?
This was not the original plan. There were 2 original plans. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The first original plan was Jessica Hahn. Do you know who that is?
Jessica Hahn?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Jessica Hahn?
So, this preacher that was always on TV, Jimmy Swaggart, he was caught having an affair with a Playboy model, Jessica Hahn. And it ruined his marriage.
Oh.
It was like a lot of drama because televangelists were huge, much bigger in the 80s than they are even now. And
wait, who was this televangelist?
Jimmy Swaggart or something else. Let me look.
Was it the one Tammy Faye was married to?
Yeah. Jessica Hahn ruined the marriage. Yeah.
Okay. Jim Baker?
Jim Baker. That's who it is. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, Jessica Hahn, not on.
Yeah, Jessica Hahn. Yeah. So that was the first guest. Then the second guest was supposed to be Ric Flair.
What?
Ric Flair, yeah, Bruce Pritchard said it. Ric Flair said it too. Ric Flair was thinking about jumping, and he was in talks with them, and the plan was he would show up on the Brother Love show. And the last thing he's like, nah, I'm going to stay with the NWA.
Wow.
But the plan was, we'll debut you on the Brother Love show. I don't think, I don't think it would have been that as big as people think it was, because I don't think people on the East Coast knew Ric Flair back then, because NWA wasn't as it wasn't all over the place like it was there. I also think Vince would have kept him as Ric Flair. I think Vince would have like changed everything about him. So I kind of think that Ric Flair made the right decision coming in '91, because I feel like '91 the audience was smarter than even '88. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he could just beat Ric Flair. But that would have been interesting, because I'm just trying to think, like, where would Ric Flair? The other thing I thought about Ric Flair was, do you notice? And I didn't realize this, but on the previews, they're not saying who Macho Man's tag team partner is. They're like, he'll announce it later. And I thought to myself, what if one of the other plans was Ric Flair is the tag team partner, not Hulk Hogan? You know,
I don't, man. I think this would have been a.
I'm glad Ric Flair didn't jump. I don't think,
Yeah. I think
because
bringing
I
on
just
the
don't see where
brother
he would have fit.
loves. No, and not only that, like bring him out, like his debut
Mhm.
at the brother. I'll be honest, I don't like Brother Love. I think it's a really stupid
I don't like
character.
him either. No.
Yeah, it's very hokey. It's not. I
Well,
don't think Bruce.
it was making fun of those guys, Jim Baker and Jimmy
Oh
Swaggart.
no, I know what they're. It's a
But
parody
like
of.
nobody gives a shit about that anymore.
I don't think it's a well done parody. Is my
No.
point. You know, and that's what. Can you imagine? Like, okay, it's okay if you're gonna. I don't know if you're gonna debut. Let's say Bad News Brown in a fucking Brother Love segment. I get it, but Ric Flair is like, he's like a top guy. You don't. This is how
Yeah,
you
but
want
I
to.
don't think he would have still been a top guy. I mean, Ronnie Garvin was the NWA champion. He was like a mid carder. I think Ric Flair would have probably had a different name. I think it would have been a completely different presentation of Ric Flair in '88. I don't think they would have brought him in the way you would bring in, like, right now, if Kenny Omega showed up on like Miz TV, it'd be Kenny Omega. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they are not going to do that back then. It probably would have been like the fancy man Dan Slan or something. Like, it would have been like a character, and it would have been like,
But they would have still kept the name Ric Flair.
I bet you they wouldn't.
They kept Harley Race.
Yeah, he was the king, Harley Race.
Yeah, but they
Maybe
probably
they
would
would
have
have kept Ric
kept
Flair,
Ric
but it would have been
Flair.
like,
They would have kept Ric Flair.
Fancy. It would have been different. Would have been a different presentation of Ric Flair.
I mean, Ron Bass was still Ron Bass.
Yeah,
and he was Ron Bass. I don't know.
I don't
think they
know.
would have still. Well,
I think Ric Flair probably would have, like, I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, he can't, because everyone's like, well, he would have been the main event of WrestleMania 5. And I'm like, no, they had it Hogan Savage. I think you maybe would have seen Ric Flair versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan at WrestleMania 5.
Regardless, I'm glad Ric Flair. I agree with you. I'm glad Ric Flair didn't debut at this fucking second.
No, I'm glad he waited, because '91, I do like Vince was more willing to be like, this guy is from WCW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he's not willing to, and that's what got Ric Flair over so much, almost being an outsider.
I will say this: even though this Brother Love segment sucked my balls, I do like the idea of when you have a pay per view, you do like a interview segment like this in the middle of the show.
But I think yes, and I think they could do it again. But I think to do it now, you have to have like a big news story in like, and they wwere kind of, their hands were tied, so it's like, all right,
You know what? Kind of like at WrestleMania Night 2.
Yeah,
where they had Miz and Snoop
Snoop
Dogg,
Dogg,
and
you love that. That's your favorite segment.
yeah, I fucking love. You know what? That's kind of like this. It's kind of like, I fucking loved it. All right, match number 5. It is for the Intercontinental Championship. It is Honky Tonk Man, a champion with Jimmy Hart. As you know, he's issued an open challenge, and they're in the ring like, yeah, well, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight any man. Bring it in. The fucking Ultimate Warriors music hit. The crowd goes nuts. This guy fucking runs in. He fucking like hits like a splash and he wins. It's like a 1-minute match or something. The crowd goes crazy. This was not even a minute match. According to this, it's like a 30-second match.
Mm-hmm. This was the best match of the night.
I'm not sure if it was the best match, but it's fucking good. It's good for what it is. It's 100% good for what it is. This match
made Ultimate Warrior. It turned him into the star. It's one of the biggest pops I ever heard from the Garden. They just get louder, and they get loud when the music hits. They get loud when he enters the ring, and when he wins the belt, and they're actually like, holy fuck, they're going with this guy now. The crowd explodes because now they know, like, he's on his way to becoming like a guy, like one of the guys. And it was so fucking good. And you know what? Like, I'm sure this wasn't the original plan. Whatever happened with Bruce Beefcake happened. And like nowadays, I feel like they would have had him lose because like, no, we are telling a story between Beefcake and Honky Tonk. But you pivot and you create a legend. This guy's a legend, and it's because of this match. This is where it all starts. It's one of the biggest pops.
I will say this is like
the best
best
squash
thing that happens up to at this pay-per-view
Yeah.
up to this point. Yeah. It's all like I said, the first fucking like 4 matches, I'm just like, what the fuck did I pay money for? And if I get to the point, I'll be like, you know what, this part is worth it.
You know what also, like, you have to have some context here. Like, Honky Tonk Man now had the longest intercontinental run in history. To this day, it's still the longest. So I think people kind of thought like he's never losing this belt, kind of like with Roman. And then for him to not to just lose, but to get destroyed, it was like, you just made this guy. I almost feel like this is my thing now with Roman. I don't know if you agree. If they're going to keep Roman going even longer, like it's going to go into like the fall, this is how Roman should lose. Like, this is how he should lose. Like, because like you're going to, whoever does that is like, dude, Honky Tonk Man made this guy's life in this match.
Is Honky Tonk Man really the longest reigning Intercontinental champion?
I think they're going to have Gunther break it. Gunther's going to break it, I think.
Let me see.
He still is, yep.
Yeah, 454 days.
How many is Gunther right now?
Gunther is at I'm just going through to make sure 100% is the longest.
He is.
Yeah, 400 and something. What did I say? 450 something days?
Yeah. What's Gunther?
And Gunther is at 304 plus days. So he's still got like over 100 days to go.
And it feels like Gunther's had the belt forever. And still
yeah. Well, Gunther's had it for close to a year now, right? He's only like 2 months shy of a year.
They gotta have Gunther. They gotta have Gunther destroy his record. They have to.
Yeah.
If Gunther doesn't do it, no one's ever doing it.
Yeah. So Honky Tonk Man 454. So Gunther's at 304. So he basically needs 150 more days with this belt. Really?
Yeah.
Around there. 151 days. Okay. I think Gunther could do it.
When Gunther does it, they should have Honky Tonk Man give him an award. Like, they should have
151 days is about 5 months. That's 5 months. So what are we at? We're in April. Okay, so it's May, June, July, August, September. So by October, if he can hold it until October, he's fine. Yeah, you're right. Honky Tonk Man should come out and cut a promo. Give him a award and cut a promo.
And then but this is one of my favorite. This is my favorite squash match of all time.
This was a great squash match. Great, fantastic. Yeah, I would say it's probably a 5-star squash match.
Yeah.
If you're not rating squash matches, then you're fucking star rating this.
Well, you know why it is, right? You know what.
We go to match. Oh wait, by the way, we get another main event video package in the middle of the show, and then why do we get a video package for the main event in the middle of the show?
They had intermission, but they don't say that on this edit. But that was an intermission.
To move.
They used to have intermissions on the pay-per-views. They would take a 15-minute break.
Okay. And then we get, during intermission, we get, they're with the commentators, and Bobby Heenan interrupts Billy Graham and fucking Gorilla Monsoon. He actually joins commentary. We go to match number 6. So Bobby Heenan's going to be guest commentator for match number 6. It is The Rock, Don Morocco, with Frenchie Martin, and what do you call it? No, wait. It's The Rock, Don Morocco. It's The Rock, Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo with Frenchie Martin. And what do you got? During this match, because Billy Graham used to be
the manager
of Don Morocco. So Billy Graham just talks way too fucking much in this match. He just never shuts up. And then, while I was watching this, Dino Bravo is really not good. He's not a good wrestler.
Horrible.
He takes like a really bad. Don Morocco's not the best wrestler in the world, but so far I've been watching a whole bunch of Don Morocco matches, and he's not bad. His selling's on point and everything. Dino Bravo is so fucking bad. He takes a bad monkey flip, takes a really bad looking hip toss. He's just not good. And Graham just keeps talking. This was a very unenjoyable match for me because Graham just keeps talking like constantly. He keeps mentioning like 8th Avenue. This is like the 3rd time in this program he's mentioning 8th Avenue.
It might be he might be trying to get it over as like one of his things. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he Dino Bravo hits his fucking sidewalk slam for the win. I don't like Dino Bravo.
This was not good. This was not good.
No.
You could tell the crowd was like, what the fuck? The show finally came to life. Now we have to deal with this bullshit. It was not good at all. I hated this match.
Yes, I agree. This sucked. Sean Mooney is with Jesse Ventura, who is going to be the guest commentator for the main event.
Yes, referee.
And Ventura cuts a great promo. Very fucking good, Jesse Ventura. We're going to go to match number 7. It is for the tag championship. It is the Demolition, where the tag champions with Jimmy Hart and Mr. Fuji. Jimmy Hart has joined them because he's the former manager of a now
trying to get revenge on the
guy tag team of the Hart Foundation. They are now faces. And what do you call it? They're wrestling. There's a really good moment in this match where Bret Hart hits the post, and it really looks like he hit it. Like it looked his the way he's acting. I was like, did that really happen? Or he looks so good. The finish comes when the ref is distracted, and Axe hits Bret Hart with a megaphone for the win. Demolition win. I thought this was a good match. I fucking love Bret Hart. He's fucking good, And
it was a really good tag match. The
What?
fans were into it. Again, the Hart Foundation, one of the best tag teams of all time.
Mm-hmm. Demolition held their own as well in this match.
Demolition was great too. Demolition, very underrated tag team. One of the most underrated tag teams in history. The more time goes, because people used to be like, "Oh, Demolition's the best." Now they've forgotten about it. They've forgotten about the team. But very, very, very underrated. And these teams had good chemistry. So yeah, great match. Crowd got back into it. Now we have a show. We have a great squash match. This was great. Now the show's picking up. But then it doesn't.
Yeah, the show's picking up. You're absolutely right. Mean Gene, he is in the heel locker room, the bad guys locker room, the villains. And Honky Tonk's mad, and he's cutting another fucking promo. See, this is how you know that even Junior knew this guy could fucking talk, because nobody else is getting like multiple. Even the Megapowers don't get 2 promo segments.
Yeah,
but Honkey Tonk Man does, because he's fucking good on the fucking mic, man. He's great. He's great. We go to match number 8, Big Boss Man with Slick versus Coco Beware. And Boss Man hits his side slam, which is yet to be given the finisher name at this point. He hits him, and he hits the side slam for the win, and afterwards he fucking hits Coco Beware with a nightstick to kick him out of the ring. It's very weird seeing a cop hit a fucking black man.
Imagine they did this today.
I know they can't do this today, but yeah, remember the match is over. Coco lost, and he just gets a nightstick, and he just fucking hits Coco.
That was Boss Man's gimmick. He beats you up after the match with the nightstick.
Yeah, but it was very like, this is pre Black Lives Matter. So it's very fucking rough to see it as. You and I were talking about how Junior didn't put the NWA out of business. The NWA put the NWA out of business. And I still kind of believe that, but Junior does take a lot of their fucking young talent that had problems.
Yeah, but like, okay, but the Powers of Pain. Why are you telling these guys they got to go on a scaffold?
Yeah, but it's not just Powers of Pain. He takes the Powers of Pain. Everybody that we're seeing, the first time I'm seeing them is on a fucking NWA pay-per-view, right?
But also, he's willing to pay them more.
Yeah, he takes like anybody who has any kind of promise, anybody who's young, like even like Sam Houston. He takes Sam Houston, who was a big deal in NWA, and he fucking makes him look like shit. He throws him back to the fucking throws him back.
But some guys he doesn't do that with. The Boss
Man. He looked like it was like, oh, who's this big fucking scary dude at NWA? He brings him in. Anytime they're like building up any young guy, you have to admit Junior is just taking.
But here's the thing that NWA couldn't match: the Boss Man's family still gets residual checks from all the merchandise they made of the Boss Man. NWA
Absolutely.
was never going to do that. So it's like he did, but also he gave Boss Man and the family a revenue stream that they still profit from to today. You know what I'm saying? And like
No,
NWA was a new.
I'm not. No. I'm not. I think you're misunderstanding my
No,
argument.
yeah, he does take, but he's offering them something. They should have offered that too. They should have said,
Yeah,
"Well,
I'm not saying they didn't do that. I'm not saying that he didn't make the right choice. But what I'm trying to say is, when we're reviewing NWA, we're constantly talking about how it's the same fucking guys on top. It's constantly Ric Flair. It's constantly Dusty Rhodes. Do you think I I saw the same thing happening with the current NWA that Billy Corgan is running?
yeah,
In the beginning, when Billy Corgan revived NWA, he was putting a lot of shine on guys like Ricky Starks, fucking Thunder Rosa, and these guys, all his promising people, they got poached by fucking AEW, and because of that, he started relying on guys you knew were never going to go anywhere else,
yeah,
like Trevor Murdoch, Tyrus. So I'm watching this now, and I'm going, do you think NWA part of the reason why they were constantly relying on Dusty and fucking Ric Flair was because we can't like put any stock in any of these young guys because they're just gonna fucking leave for fucking WWF.
Well, I'll give you another story. Again,
Okay.
like I get what you're saying, but like Arn and Tully Arn Anderson especially, he didn't want to go to WWF, but they were lied to about their money multiple times by Jim Crockett. They were lied to, and they needed that. If you tell someone, so it was about the Great American Bash, he told them you're gonna get like 30, 40 grand or something a piece. They got like 8 grand. And it's like, you told me this amount, my life, I've been planning my life around this amount. You can't trust. Arn Anderson said if he had never lied to me about money, I never would have went to Vince. So it's like those guys were guys that they were centering the company around, and they're lying to them about money. It's like I understand what you're saying. Like we can't build it on these young guys, but you're lying to even like your established guys that like you about their money, and that's why they went to Vince. They go to Vince next month.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
After this show, so it's like yeah, Vince is stealing them, but like if you're lying to Boss Man, if you're like fucking over a guy who wants to basically blow you, Arn Anderson, right? If you're fucking this guy over, what's his choice?
You know what? I see what you're saying. Yeah. So
he doesn't want to go.
But so that's like saying, you know what? Yeah, part of the problem is Junior poaching all your talent, but maybe he wouldn't be poaching your talent if you just treated him better. You know?
Arn Anderson, when I listen to this podcast, he honestly believes they had a better show in the 80s. And he's fucking wrong. But he believes that with all his heart. He doesn't want to go to WWF. He wants to stay.
He really think they had a better show than WWF?
Yes, he 100% thinks that.
I would love to do this podcast where we're reviewing pay-per-views with this fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, you're the same one who thinks your fucking son could be a wrestler.
But listen, my point is he loves his company. He doesn't want to go. He thinks WWF is bullshit. He wants to stay. He knows he's not making the money that they're making in WWF. He still wants to stay, and he wants to support you. And you're fucking him with money, and he has to go to Vince. Like, come on, that's a guy you have to take care of. This guy like bleeds NWA, and you're chasing him out. Come on.
Yes. All right. No, fair point. Yeah. All right. Sean Mooney, he's in the good guys locker room, and they're all celebrating Warriors Intercontinental Championship win. And then Warrior starts cutting a promo, and it is fucking all over the place. He's talking about
you see Junkyard Dog just
coming up from fucking outer space. Junkyard Dog.
He has this look.
He's in the background, and he's as soon as he starts listening to Warrior be on his face. He's so confused by this promo.
You know what he's thinking? I can tell you what he's thinking. This is going to be the top guy and not me. And he just looks so brokenhearted because he knows it's over. Warriors.
Yeah. He has this look like, damn, I do a lot of drugs and I don't understand it.
Yeah. He looks like
is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
What is he talking
He starts
about
talking
here?
about comic books. He's just, you thought it was a comic book, but it's not a comic book. He's so
And he talks about outer space, and he talks about like aliens. I don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. I was like, what is he talking about? It was just so like all over the place. It was just like
he's still a better promo than Sammy Guevara. So
I would love somebody to actually have this gimmick now, where whenever they're cutting a promo, they just. I guess Bray Wyatt was kind of like that. It's just like
yeah, but
all
Bray
over.
Wyatt wasn't as fun. Dude, the thing about a Warrior promo is that it's kind of like fun. It's just like fun. It's just like I don't know what he's saying, but this is funny.
I
Yeah.
want someone to cut a promo about like absolutely nothing, but just like do it with this like 80s style wrestling rage, where you're just like the fucking bitch that are coming up from the sewers are eating everything. But what I'm gonna tell you right now, 9/11 happened, and that's why I'm gonna beat you for the title. And just like walk off, and you're just like, what the fuck was that? Like, I want someone to cut a promo like that.
Oh,
See,
dude.
Warhorse, if Warhorse did that, I think he would be super old.
He would
Because he's
be.
already got that gimmick. And if he just cut nonsensical promos that just made absolutely no fucking sense, but just like really absurd, like this will be like the fucking Gremlins was they should have made a Gremlins 4 because then they could have had a shared universe with the Super Mario Brothers movie that's going to come out in 2023. And this is why I'm going to win the King of the Ring or something like that. Like, I think it'll be over because it's very interesting. It's just very stupid and it's fucking hilarious. But
Yeah. No, that would have been hilarious.
they need to have a wrestler stand behind him, just looking at him, so confused. Poor Junkyard Dog. Yeah, I think you're right. He's just looking at this guy going like,
I can't believe this is the guy and I'm not the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? You look at the body and you get it. Junkyard Dog has a gut, you know?
Yeah, and Warrior was it, man. Like that was the era where shit like that people ate that shit up back
Warrior
then.
looks like a superstar though. He looks like a superstar.
He looks like you know what the thing about Warrior? He looks like if you told the average person the street was a pro wrestler look like, they would draw the Ultimate Warrior, having not seen wrestling at all ever. They just would draw him, and he looks like pro wrestling. He looks like pro wrestling come to life. That's the thing.
Yeah. That's very good. That's a very good description of Warrior.
Yeah. And there's been no one like that since. I almost feel like, you know what other thing too? There's a sincerity in his absurdity because he doesn't think that he's absurd. He believes it. Like he's really like, no, this is good. And that works because I feel like now if someone tried, they would like Warhorse, you could tell like he's just some fucking guy. Like
No, that's right. He can't. If Warhorse is gonna do this, he can't do it as a parody.
Everyone now would just be like tongue in cheek, and this guy is there's nothing like sarcastic. He believes this, and that's what makes it like work, bro.
It's like, you know, when somebody makes like a bad movie and it becomes a cult classic, they're never making it to be a bad movie. They're making it the best movie they could make it. It just has to be really bad. Yeah, you need to do that. You need to like put your best effort in, but just like it's not good.
And because he thinks this is a good promo, it's a good promo.
Yeah, because he's so into it, you just can't help but like
yeah,
you can't get mad at him. He's just trying his best, you know.
Yeah, like you know what, this guy's got it. Yes, but anyway, but yeah, interesting. It's gonna be fun watching. It's fun watching some of these guys evolve because the '88 Rumble, no one gave a shit. And now it's like, oh, this is the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the penultimate match. Match number 9: Hercules versus Jake Roberts. I like this fucking match, man.
Really?
Graham fucking mentions 8th Avenue again in this fucking match, but I don't even care because this match is so fucking good. Good back and forth. There's a lot of headlocks in the beginning, but they're telling a story in this with the headlocks. Mm-hmm. Hercules is fucking over. He's way more powerful than Jake Roberts, right?
Yeah.
And Jake Roberts has to like figure something out, and all of a sudden they come out of the headlocks and they start going into it, and the finish is great. Fucking Hercules tries to fucking gorilla press fucking Roberts. Robert floats over and he turns into a really, really quick DDT. Boom. He wins and he puts the fucking snake on Hercules. I thought this was a good match. I liked it. Good storytelling.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't love it as much as you. But Jake the Snake is he's everyone says he's a great worker. I still think he's one of the most underrated workers. He really, dude, they have so many like just like if Hogan had a if Hogan and Macho Man both had a stroke, they have
Mhm.
so many guys, whether it's Bret Hart, Jake the Snake, Ultimate Warrior, that are just fucking ready to be the guy. They have an embarrassment of guys who could be the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? When I was watching this match, Hercules is pretty good too. And I
Hercules
come,
is another guy who could have done more, who could have been more. He's
yeah,
another guy like people underestimate. Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah,
good talent on this show, man.
yeah, yeah. He definitely did take the best talent that was available. He 100% did.
Yeah.
All right, we get the Mega Feuds recap, and we go to our main event. The referee is Jesse Ventura, and is the Megabucks of Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant with Virgil versus the Megapowers of Hogan and Savage with um, Miss Elizabeth.
Hmm.
In the beginning of this match, Jesse Ventura changes the fucking tag ropes for some fucking reason.
Hmm.
And this match is going back and forth. The crowd's super into it. The fucking Mega Powers get thrown to the outside, and it looks like the heels are just like they're just too much for the good guys. When Elizabeth gets up on the fucking apron and then she rips off her skirt to show her legs and booty. People go nuts for this. They're going super nuts. And because she's so attractive, the heels can't stop looking at her because she is their secret weapon. This distraction allows the Mega Powers to get up both on the top turnbuckle and they fucking attacks. Not only do they attack, it also distracts from Jesse Ventura from finishing the count out. And they basically, the Mega Powers hit the elbow drop and leg drop on Ted DiBiase for the win. After the match, Hogan hugs Elizabeth and he's carrying Elizabeth. And Randy Savage gets fucking annoyed at this. And he makes like this annoyed face. And they go, oh, it's all good, brother. And they go, all right, all right. And they pass it off. Great fucking foreshadowing right there. Commentators never mention it. You
No,
just see it because the fucking camera zooms in on their faces. I thought this was a fucking great match. It's fun to watch.
this
Fun to
was a
watch.
great match. That moment at the end, if you know what's it like, if you are just like a little kid and you're just watching the show, it's like whatever. But if you
Mhm.
know what's coming, it's such a fucking great moment. There's so much storytelling. Macho Man was maybe top three of all time. I don't care what anyone says. He doesn't get enough credit. There's so much story being told in the way he moves his arms and his expression
Yes.
that it's just so much in that few minutes. And then and when he finally turns, it's like all these moments add up. Yeah, it was a great match. The original planned finish, Elizabeth was supposed to strip down to like a bikini. She was supposed to, and it would be the reason why the heels would be shocked is no one's ever seen Elizabeth that naked before. But at the last second, Macho Man was like, "I don't want to do it, no." So they just did like the little, but she still, dude. Like Bruce Purchase complained, like it wasn't really that much of a sexy outfit, dude. I thought she looked amazing in that the little bikini brief she had. She looked amazing, bro.
Um, I think for that time, yeah,
Yeah,
probably it's
you,
it
you,
you know, it is
I
what it
agree
is.
that the bikini would have been like a better finish because everyone would have been like, because she's never done that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna get in trouble. So
What are you gonna
yeah,
say
I'll
about it?
leave it at that. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
you don't want to see her in a bikini? You hate women now?
No, I mean that's not saying that. I at the end of the day, I thought it was like the storytelling was fucking good. You know,
Yeah.
the good guys in their back, they're at the end of the rope. They can't fucking compete with these two guys, and then like they're gonna get a count out victory when she distracts them, breaks up the count out, and these guys they come back up on
Yeah,
top.
that's
Crowd
good.
loved it. This was excellent. I didn't. You know what? This was a great way to use a manager too. It was a great way.
Yes, it was a great way to use a face manager
Yes,
because
absolutely.
most of the time, especially in AEW, the face manager stands like a fucking idiot
Yeah.
at the
You know
time.
why? Because she's not really doing anything wrong.
No,
Because none those guys don't have to look at her. They
no,
could
they
just
could
look
just
away.
they could just finish off Hogan and Savage and then go home.
Exactly, but they're so distracted by her legs that they can't help it, you know, and that's why I think that's good. They, you know, nobody uses a face manager like
No, and
that.
then yeah, You know what's the worst thing is like when like they have a face manager and like the heels cheat and the face manager just stands there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you? What the fuck are you doing? Do something. If I was a face, like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Exactly.
You know who's the big on that? The fucking Lucha Brothers manager. He does nothing when.
Oh, I hate that guy.
He just
Alex
makes faces in the background like a.
Oh my god.
Completely fucking useless.
Yeah, completely useless, dude. Useless.
It's like to me, I would say to Tony, why is this guy even on my team?
Yeah. He's so useless, dude. He's so useless.
Dude, anyway.
But he loves wrestling. Dude, do you know how many people love wrestling? It doesn't fucking matter. Just because you love it doesn't mean you should fucking be on TV.
No,
you know?
well, we love wrestling. We should manage the Young Dragons again. They come back. So yeah, all in all, it was the first SummerSlam. Interesting show.
I think it's worth watching.
What?
I think it's worth watching.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
Good, nostalgia.
Next week we have Survivor Series 88. Then in 2 weeks, Andrew, we're going to the AWA for the only time. AWA Superclass 3 was the only pay-per-view they ever did. So, are you excited? It's on the network. Are you excited for AWA?
Yeah, I actually
Main event, Jerry Lawler versus Kerry Von Erich. Then we are going to, in 3 weeks, Starrcade 88, where the main event is Lex Luger versus Ric Flair.
Again?
Yeah, again. Dude, you better get used to that fucking match, bro. And then 4 weeks from now, it's the Royal Rumble 89. And that's it. That's a show I haven't watched too much of, so it should be fun to watch. So what are you looking forward to the most?
So Survivor Series 88 is next, right?
Yeah, and then we go to the AWA
for the most is Royal Rumble, of course.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. Yeah, and that's actually, you have the Rockers, you have the Megapowers, you have the Brain Busters, the Bushwhackers.
I would say still the worst match I've seen so far is the Bunkhouse Brawl. 100% still. And
also the worst show, I think.
Yeah, and I would say still the best match I've seen so far is probably Savage Steamboat.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while before that's overshadowed. All right. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, write us a review, follow me, Ray Goots, on Twitter, Instagram, Ray Goots Comedy on TikTok. And yeah, tell your friends about this show. And so yeah, fuck it. And fuck you, Dave Meltzer, for hating on CM Punk. Right? Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you. All right, guys. We'll see you next week for Survivor Series 88. Hold on. One of the greatest Survivor Series of all time. No, not really. But you'll enjoy it. All right. We'll see you then.